And hello everybody, it is I, Lightning Blitz, and I am back with another tutorial. This will be the final part where we finalize our stallion pony puppet. Now, as you can see, he kind of went through a few changes off screen, obviously. I went ahead and fixed his flank, and I had readjusted some of the line work to his hooves and his head and his neck. See, it's all about modifying and fixing the symbols so you get the puppet just the way you want it. This is how I wanted it, so I'm kind of happy with it now. So now we're going to move on to some minor details, but that is not limited to the horn and wings. So if you want to make a unicorn, or a Pegasus, or an alicorn, this is the tutorial part for you. When I left off, I forgot one little minor detail that usually needs to help fix this little area right here between the flank and the torso. So right now we're going to make another new layer above the chest layer. Click new layer, rename it belly patch. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to lock down all the layers, and we're just going to draw the belly patch in its own layer. Of course, have it unlocked to do that. Zoom in. And we are just going to go ahead and use the red line tool, and we're going to draw in this belly patch. The belly patch is basically to smooth everything out. We don't want to have a round line to represent the belly. We want a kind of a more pointed, smooth out line. Don't want to overlap it too much either. Okay, now we got the patch. We're gonna make the outer line of the belly. Make sure it lines up with the chest line. And now we're gonna color it in. And we're gonna remove the red line. That looks pretty close to what I want. Of course, it just needs a few minor adjustments here and there. But yeah, it's basically what I want. Ah, perfect. I think I got it right where I want it. Now we're going to convert this into a symbol. We're going to name it belly patch. Now it's a symbol. Now we can zoom out, give it a proper look. And look at that. He's in a proper 3/4 pose now. So now we basically have an earth pony. If you are happy with that, you can stop right now and continue on with other details like creating new layers for like the hair and mane and tail, or you could go ahead and start recoloring the puppet as you want. But for those who want to create a unicorn or a Pegasus, keep watching. So now that we got the belly patch out of the way and all the details are done, we're going to create the horn next. Lock down all your symbols, be sure to save your work. And I think I'm going to put the horn between the mouth layer and the ear layer. We're going to make a new layer, call it horn, and we are basically going to go ahead and draw our horn right now in any empty space you want. Remember to select the right line stroke you would like. I'm going to go ahead and create a 3 thickness stroke, and I'm going to use the line tool again. The first thing I'm going to do is draw a straight line and convert it into a symbol. Convert the symbol, call it horn. Now that I have that, I'm going to expand it so I know it will match up with the size of our puppet. If I can get it to move. There we go. I'd say that's close to the size we want. Jelly good, jelly good. Okay, now I'm gonna click on it. And I'm gonna, I just deleted the line because I wanted it to match up to the lines of the puppet. So now I'm gonna create a new line. And depending on how thick you want the horn base to start with. Right about there, maybe a little bit less for me. And then I'm just gonna go into the middle of the line. Wait for that curved symbol of the line to show up. Then pull it upward. Doesn't matter how long you want the horn. If you want to go for more show accurate, I'd say this is pretty close to what I want. And then I'm gonna slightly turn it. If it'll cooperate. This is what happens when you use a mouse as your tool. And I'm just adjusting it so it's slightly pointing a little bit to the right, because the horns on ponies don't exactly point straight up. So adjust it the way you want before you start going into details. I'd say that's where I'd like it. Okay, now we are going to close it off for a minute. Curve that base down ever so slightly. And now we're going to readjust our line tool to a 2-stroke. And we're going to put the details of the horn, which is basically the curved lines in the inside. Usually for the average unicorn stallion, they have 3 lines. But if you want to put more in, that's totally up to you. I think 3 is enough, personally. So now that we have the line work done for the horn, we're gonna convert it to the color of the line of the pony, which is black. And then we're gonna color the inside. We're done, right? Nope, not exactly. Delete the baseline. And now we have these 2 rounded lines clearly showing that we're using the line tool. If you want to do this by hand, that's fine too. I just prefer to use the line tool because it will guarantee smoothness. But now that we got the horn down and we want to kind of sharpen this angle down a little bit more, I created a new layer in the symbol. I'm going to call it Patchwork. And I'm going to go ahead and select the red color for another line because we're basically going to draw it out to smooth everything out. Reduce the line work down so I see what I'm doing. And basically, I am just going to kind of patch this line off. Make the horn look like it has a circular base. Alrighty, and once you're satisfied with the design of your horn, we can zoom out, see what we got. And we have a unicorn horn, guys. Cool, huh? I'm gonna go ahead and readjust it though, because I don't like the thickness of it. I'm probably just gonna narrow it down ever so slightly. And again, remember, whenever you're not satisfied with the shape or symbol of it all, you can just go back into the symbol and readjust it. Let's say that's pretty close to what I want. Alright, now we got a unicorn. If you're happy with that, you can stop the tutorial and then go into details you want. Or keep going, because now we're going to get into the wings. So now that we have the horn down, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and save. I'm gonna sip my coffee too. That is a good cup of joe. And we're gonna create a new layer called Wings. Right above everything else. New layer, Wings 1. Scroll down to the bottom of all your layers. Create a new layer at the very bottom called Wings 2. Both of these layers are going to have the same symbol of wings. So now that we have everything locked down with the exception of the first wing layer, we are going to insert a new symbol. I'm going to call it wing. Now we're in the symbol of wing, and we are quite literally going to be making several frames of different positioned wings that basically is going to create a flapping animation. So for that many layers, I need to remember for a second how many layers that is. Yeah, about 7 frames. So go ahead and select those frames, hit F7, and now we got 7 frames to work with, starting with the first one. We're going to select our red circle or oval tool, make sure your color is off, and the first thing I want you to do is to create an egg or oval shape. Select it, slightly tilt it a little bit, angle it as much as you want, and try to narrow the one that's pointing to the top. Try to narrow it down a little so it looks more egg-shaped. This, everybody, is the beginning of the base of a closed wing. Okay, once you get that down, I want you to select the line again, go copy, paste in place, use the transform tool, and then push it into the inside to level it out. I'm sure everybody's going, lightning Bliss, why don't you just use the light tool to create the entire wing and just make it extra thick? I could, but I find this drawing it out this way gives you more control and more maneuvering and ability to create more custom designed wings that look show accurate but are still slightly different, because you don't want to go exactly show accurate if you want to avoid any copyright issues. So now that we got the line of our wing finished, we're going to create the inside feathers before we make the primary feathers. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create 3 loops. 1, 2, and adjust as you go. 3. And as you can see, I am adjusting as I go because you want these to be kind of centered, but you want the third one to be slightly higher than the other 2 loops. So adjust as you go until you're happy with it. I'm okay with this. And once again, we're going to create the outside line for this, just like we did with the oval. So go ahead and start creating your inside lines. Adjust as you go. Again, don't get frustrated if it's not perfect the first time. It's repetition, practice and error. I mean, I obviously didn't get it right the first time. That's why I went back and adjusted everything. This is basically the technical aspect of making the symbols and getting everything down right the way you want. Alrighty, now that we got that part done, we can delete this part of the line because this is going to be part of the stroke of the line. We're almost done. Now we got to create the wing lines. Alright, you start with the first middle line, make it kind of thin. Not too thick, because this is just to indicate the separation of the wings. Make another one that is met in the middle of each loop. And repeat. And then you can delete these lines that are connecting everything. And voila, we basically have our wing. Now, if you're happy with this design, then you can fast forward to the next part where we create an open wing. But what I like to do is to add a little customization to it. Is that I like to add a little indents in the wings or the feathers. So I like to basically like give the wing a bit of a bump to show that the feathers have more screen value to me. Well, you'll see what I mean when I adjust it. Alrighty, once you're satisfied with your wing design, you can start filling it in. So we're going to use the black for the outline, and then the darker gray for the inside. Remove the red line. Whoops. And now we have the closed wing of our Pegasus. Once you get that down, now we can move on to more of the funner, more obvious parts of the wing, is when it's open. Obviously, I don't like the look of this, but you can go in and, like I said, you can adjust whenever you want. There's really no right or wrong wing design here, but if you want to go for show style, well, then you might be here for a while to readjusting everything. Alrighty, now that we got that out of the way, we are going to create the next frame. First though, I want you to hit onion skin, adjust it the way you want so you can see where the base of your closed wing is, because we're going to need it to outline the rest of our wing. Now for this, I am going to use the line tool fully and adjust it to a layer 3 stroke to see if that will match. No, it doesn't. Alright. Adjust the stroke to make sure it's close to the other wing design. 8 sounds about right. Alrighty. And give it a rough estimate of where the wing will be connected. Start drawing out your open wing. I like to treat it kind of like a wobbly elbow. And you can go big or small, all depends on what style you're going for. Okay, this is the connection of the wing, and this is the first primary feather. I'm gonna loop it down. Make sure it has a loop curve at the top. And if you need help knowing where the feathers are going, you can always create a baseline to help you figure out where the wings are going to go or where the feathers are going to go, because it kind of stretches highest to lowest. And once you get that sorted out, you can create the feathers on the inside, which is basically just a series of 3 to 4 loops, depending on your style. I'm just going to go ahead and create 3. And then we're going to go ahead and fill it in. Remove the baseline. And yeah, that's basically it. If you want to draw this part in, you can, or if you want to patch over it, you can as well. Just like I showed you previously. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the first part of the wing. And from here, it's pretty easy with the next few frames, because at this point, we're going to make the wing. We're gonna select this frame, hold the Alt key down, drag it over to the next frame, because the next frame is literally the same wing, but slightly tilted. So adjusting your onion skin so you see the one behind you. Make sure it's selected and select your transform tool. Now slightly tilt it back. Once you're satisfied with that, select the frame again, hold Alt, drag it to the next frame, and repeat the same sequence. Flap it down, slightly tilting it a little bit down, because basically we're indicating the wing is gonna be flapping. Pretty cool, huh? Next, we're going to create the wing that is now curving, like about to curve down. So we need to make a new wing for that. So using our onion skin and holding where the previous line for the former wing was, we're going to curve it ever so slightly upward from where that wing was. And we're gonna recreate the wing again. This time making sure it's curving towards the inside to indicate that it is flapping down. And remember how many feathers you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feathers. Okay. Make sure all the feathers are curving the right way. Alrighty, once you get that wing down, you can see the progress. Now we go down to the actual flapping motion. Onion skin turned back on. And we are going to create an entirely new wing design where it is literally flapping down. So make sure it's properly connected to where the other wing was before. And have it curve ever so slightly. And the outer primary feathers are curved inward. So they're basically like little ovals curving into the inside of the wing. You can make as many feathers as you want to share or show as it's flapping down. Now, I would say you could be done, but if you want to give this an extra effect, create a new layer, lock the other one down for a second, turn off onion skin too, and create a new empty keyframe. Hit F6 just above this frame. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the color white. And I'm going to use my line tool again for red. And I'm going to create or I'm just gonna, actually, you know what, I'm gonna paint this out. This will be easier. The white tool, I want you to lower its alpha to at least 50 or 45. I'm gonna go 45. And we're gonna make basically whoosh effect motion, or I should just say visual effect. So all that is just, actually, you know what? Just so we could see what's going on, we're going to select red so we can see it better. Kind of treat it like a really curved, very long teardrop. Fill it in. Maybe drag it down ever so slightly. If you want to smooth it out more, you can use the smooth tool. I'm gonna copy, paste it again, and make this one a little bit smaller and narrower. Have it positioned right here. Create another one. Smooth it down a little bit more. Make sure it's pointing up like with the rest. And yeah, that's basically the smooth motion. Make sure the rest of the frames, though, are 0 keyframes, because all we want is that one. So now you can see the motion itself. But remember to recolor it white. We don't want it red. The white was just to show you what it looked like. So now that we have that part down, we can continue with the rest of the wing. What I'd like to do with the wing that is basically pointing down at this point, I like to take the current wing frame we have, hold Alt, drag the frame to the next empty frame, and then hitting onion skin again so we know what's going on. I am going to flip this image. I'm going to modify, transform, flip vertically, and drag it down to where it needs to be. And at this point, this is the outside of the wing, so we don't really need this. So that's an indicator that this is the outside of the wing. And you can adjust it down to make it look like it's pointing down more, but relatively I'm happy with that. And last and the final frame, which is pretty simple, all you gotta do is create another black line. And it's gonna be oval pointing up slightly. This is basically the wing readjusting itself as it's being pulled up. And I'm gonna create my feather lines. And again, you can readjust your symbols or your line work or your art or your paint work, whatever you want. This is just me speeding through this because this is a tutorial. Don't have to be exactly like this. And voila! So let's see how that looks like an animation. Control loop playback. Pretty cool, huh? Let me unadjust, so there we go. Okay. So now we got a wing. We got a feathered wings. Animation-wise, this is okay, but for like solid vector images, you may want to readjust the wings so they're a lot more smoothed out than me. But again, this is just a tutorial. Do a file save. Can't stress that enough. Go back to your scene. Now you can go into your library and find the wing symbol, which is right here. And we're just going to drag it on to our wing layer. So go ahead and select, drag it over. And I actually do like the size of it on the body, but again, if you want to adjust it, you could go into the symbol itself, or you could simply transform it right here. It looks pretty small on him right now, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust it. And there you have it, folks. You have the wing symbol attached to your pony. Now you can go ahead and select this wing, copy it, and you can put it into the second wing layer. However, if you would rather create another different type of wing symbol so these two don't collide, you could do that as well. But for the purpose of creating your own vectors, this is good enough. So basically at this point, we have an alicorn, unless you want to give him more alicorny like wings, which are more different to regular Pegasi wings, but it all depends on what you guys want. So there you have it, folks. This is your pony puppet stallion, and I basically gave you the technical aspects of how to create one. And obviously you can go in and readjust the symbols or the design as much as you want until you get the product you like. But once you have everything done and you are satisfied with the puppet, file save it, and then never save over it again when you're adjusting it. What I mean by that is once you have like once you put in all the hair and the color, the cutie mark, all that, and that's what you want, save over it, but never save it any other way again. And here's what I mean. Let's say I want to make a vector of this pony looking angry. So let's go ahead and do that. First thing you're going to do is select the eyebrows you want. So brow 1, select the frame, hit F6. Same for the other brow, hit F6. Drag that frame over to the first frame. He looks pretty angry, doesn't he? Now I'm going to make him look like he's yelling. Select the mouth frame I want. Hit F6, drag it to the first frame. Maybe I want his wings out too to make it look like he's furious. So select this wing symbol, wing frame for that one. Same for the other one. Select, Select the frame, drag it over, drag it over. We are going to adjust his wings down ever so slightly, just to like, oh, I'm so angry right now, I'm flexing my wings and everything. Urgh. Maybe I want his hoof up too. Let's put his hoof up. Select the frame, drag it over. I am so angry with you like right now. Oh my god, how dare you! Mighty Bliss, quit playing with your puppets. Anyway, so once you have the vector position you want it, the way you like it, like you're playing with it, you're adjusting it, you're having all sorts of fun with it, woohoo, nothing can go wrong. It's all good fun. Actually, I'm playing it with it still, there you go. So it's like, I'm so angry right now, I cannot believe this, like, oh my god, you could have done so much better with my style. I mean, you got my hooves wrong and the wings look really cruddy and everything. Oh, you lost my hoof, now I'm really angry, how dare you, oh my god. Anyway, once you have it set the way you want, you go to File, Export, Image. And then you select the folder you would like it to be saved as. And then you export it as an image. I cannot stress this enough. Don't file save. Do not. Pull away. Pull away, viewers. Don't do it. Don't do file save. File save as, you'll just create another file similar to this and it'll be stuck in this position. Do not file save over the puppet, because if you do, well, you're going to have to go through the tedious task of repositioning it all over again. And you may not get it back right the first time you had it. It's very frustrating. See, I'm doing it manually right now. Kinda sucks. It's not fun. Whereas, all I have to do is go to File, Revert, hit Revert. And the puppet is back to its original save point. So I can't stress this enough. When you are finished with your final product of your puppet, you have everything completed for it, its cutie mark, hair design, eyelashes, whatever. Save on it, but do not save over it as you're creating vectors. Do File Revert, and it will take you back to your original save point. And that is the tutorial of creating your own pony puppet stallion-wise. The same style can be used to create mare puppets, or even colts or fillies. Obviously, there are some changes when it comes to changeling puppets and whatnot, but I'm not going to go into that. This is for pony puppets. And again, you could use this for the mare. It's just a matter of readjusting the muzzle to have it more curvy, not sharp and pointed, and of course mares have eyelashes. So yeah, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it helps you in the future to create your own puppets. If you can't afford to buy a puppet from another artist, this would be your alternative if you have the programs to do so. Again, I use Adobe Flash, but there are other people that will use Adobe Illustrator or even Photoshop to create their own puppets, and this tactic is kind of relatively the same for all those programs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for all your support. I hope this helps you out, and keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile.